Okay, iron and flame tests. Here we go. A student does a flame test, sees a red flame and concludes it's lithium carbonate. Explain why he's talking for 2 marks. Okay, so he sees a red flame. So I've written out the flame colours here for the particular iron, and lithium is indeed red. Okay, so you can conclude it's lithium, but he says, or he claims it's lithium carbonate. You can't claim it's carbonate because you haven't done a test for that, okay? You can only say that it's lithium. So, 2 marks. For the first mark, just say the test only confirms the presence of the lithium ion. For the second mark, just say another test is needed to identify the negative ion. Because a negative ion could be anything, could be chloride or hydroxide. You can't claim it's carbonate. Okay, next question. The following tests were carried out on a substance containing 2 ions. A flame test produced yellow. Dilute HCl was added to the solution, followed by a few drops of barium chloride, and a white precipitate formed. Okay, give the name and formula of the substance for 2 marks. Right, we're told that we get a yellow flame. Now, different textbooks, different teachers tell you slightly different colours of the flame, okay? And unfortunately, sodium and calcium can be confused. Some people tell you that sodium is a yellow flame, some people tell you it's orange. Calcium, some people tell you it's orange-red, some people tell you it's yellow-red, or sometimes brick-red, whatever that is, okay? So, just remember that these two can be confused. You have to learn this whole thing, but also learn these slightly different colours for sodium and calcium, okay? So look, in this case, we're told it's yellow. Now, sodium is more yellow than calcium, so if you're just told yellow, it's going to be sodium, okay? Right, so name and formula of the substance. Right, so it's going to be sodium something. Right, dilute HCl followed by barium chloride. This is the sulfate ion test, okay? Remember that. Dilute HCl followed by barium chloride. We get a white precipitate, okay? That is a positive, which means there are sulfate ions present, okay? So what is a sulfate ion? It's SO4, okay? So we know it's sodium, we know it's sulfate. Well, it's going to be sodium sulfate. Okay? So sulfate looks like this. It's a sulfur atom with a couple of oxygens down there and a couple of oxygens up here, a minus on that one and a minus on that one. Okay? So SO4, 2 minus. Okay? The sulfate ion has a 2 minus charge. Now we know it's sodium sulfate. What does a single sodium ion, what's the charge on that? Well, it's a +1 or plus, okay? So that's 2 minus. Therefore, if each sodium is 1 plus, we must have 2 of them to balance the 2 minus of the sulfate. So it's Na2SO4, okay? You have to be able to work out that there's 2 sodiums. And to do that, you need to know that the sulfate is 2 minus and the sodium, okay, is 1 plus. So therefore we need 2 of them to balance the charge. Okay, so that's it, 2 marks. Sodium sulfate and Na2SO4. Right. The test for chloride ions was carried out on a solution. Well, it's really the halide test, okay? You're testing for all halides, not just chlorine. It just happens to be chlorine, or chloride, sorry, chloride means it's got a charge in this case. Okay, so firstly you add dilute nitric acid and then silver nitrate, okay, that's the halide ion test, remember that. And a white precipitate formed. When the precipitate is pure white, it's chloride, okay? So, why is nitric acid added first? Okay, you've just got to remember this. You add nitric acid to remove the carbonate ions. Simple as that. Right? Okay, sodium hydroxide solution is warmed with a solution of ammonium ions. Ammonia is given off. Describe the test to show that the gas is ammonia. 2 marks. Okay, let's write this down. So to test if the gas is ammonia, first thing you do is add damp litmus paper. Okay? And mention that damp litmus paper is red. Okay? Second mark, if it's ammonia gas, right, if that's present, then the litmus paper will turn blue. There you go, 2 marks. You've got to remember that. All right. Describe what is seen when sodium hydroxide is added to a solution of iron 2 and to a solution of iron 3 for 2 marks. Okay, so this is the metal ion test. Now, the question says describe what is seen. So, for iron 2, okay, what do you see? Well, it starts off as a solution. So the first thing you see is a precipitate starts to form. Right? What colour is that precipitate? For iron 2, it's green. Okay? Only got 1 mark so far. We actually have to say 4 things to get 2 marks for this question. Okay? For iron 3, again, you have to say, you will see, because the question's asking, what will you see? You will see a precipitate form. Okay? And its colour will be orange-brown. Okay, remember these colours and which ones correspond to iron 2 and iron 3. Okay, there we go. We've said 4 things, we've definitely got 2 marks in the bag. Okay, finally, complete the ionic equation. Let's have a change of colour. So we've got Fe, iron 3 plus. Okay, plus 3 hydroxides. What's that going to make? Well, you've only got 1 iron atom, okay? Each of these 3 hydroxides jump onto the iron, and so there's 3 of those, and it started off as 3 plus, so the charge is balanced. So we just get 3 hydroxides on the iron. It's iron hydroxide. That's it. All right, there we go.